Hey everybody, this is Keith over at COUNTERPLAY Games. Today we're going to spend some time to go over some of the core mechanics for Duelyst. At the same time, we're going to be giving you an overview of the user interface, which is still temporary but functional. Lastly, we're going to showcase a few units from the Abyssian faction, right now the player 1. And we're also going to spend some time to go over just a few handful of units from the Vitruvian, which is going to be player 2, on the right side. So now, before we get started, let's spend some time to actually go over the user interface. At the bottom, the first thing you'll see is the action bar. You'll have 4 slots for spells, artifacts, and for minions. You'll notice that some of them are grayed out because you don't have sufficient cores to be able to summon them onto the battlefield. So let's take a look at this card, the Abyssal Crawler. First of all, you can see that it has 2 attack, 1 health, and on top left there is a core cost of 1. So that's how much it's going to cost for you to summon it onto the battlefield. And generally most minions will have a ability, in this case has an opening gambit, which will turn a nearby space into shadow creep. In contrast, you also see spells here, demonic lure, which will deal 1 damage to an enemy minion and move it to another space on the battlefield. As you can see, when I roll over, on the left side, it'll also show you how much it's going to cost. In this case, you have 2 cores, and you also have 25 health for your general. And up on the top left, you'll also see that these are the remaining cards left that's in your deck. Now, in a real game, you're actually going to have exactly 40 cards available to you on your first turn as you construct your deck. So now let's get started and play a few turns. Now, when I hover over the Abyssian general, what I see is a little unit stat badge that says 225, which is 2 attack and 25 health. All the units that I have available to move that turn will have a white ring that's animating on top. And I'll always know who my units are by the white ground ring that's available and the direction that the unit is going to be pointing. Now on the ground, you'll notice that there are white tiles, and those are the locations where the unit can move. And since my general can only move 2 spaces, this is really kind of the largest area that this unit can travel. And since I have 2 cores that I can spend, I'm going to go play my Abyssal Crawler first, up in the front. You'll also notice that there's yellow tiles to show you where you can place and summon your Abyssal Crawler. Now the moment that I do summon the Abyssal Crawler, you'll also notice that there's a follow-up because I could place the Shadow Creep. Now that said, maybe I want to cancel because I don't want to place the Abyssal Crawler there. So what I can do is press cancel and move the Abyssal Crawler right here before I do the placement and place it over. Now I could use my demonic lure, but that doesn't make sense to me right now because I don't have any minion to move and I want to save that up for later. So I'm going to end my turn and now play as the Vitruvian General. Now looking at my cards, I do have a Veil Hunter, which is ranged, a Starfire Scarab with Blast and Rush, but it's 5 cores, so I won't be able to do anything right now. I do have Cosmic Flesh, which applies a force field on the next turn. And yes, I do have a Komodo Charger with Rush. So the first thing I'm going to do is going to place a range unit in the back, which is nice to keep my range units out of battle. I'm going to move my Vitruvian General up, place my Komodo Charger on the mana globe bubble, and in this case you'll notice that I actually got an extra core for that turn. I'm going to move my unit up to the top left because I do not want to walk onto the Shadow Creep. And I'll place my unit right here, and as you can see, the white rings are still available because I can still attack. Now the Abyssal Crawler's right here, and I'm gonna go save and remove the Abyssal Crawler. At this point, I could use my Cosmic Flesh on my Komodo Charger, but it doesn't make too much sense to me right now because I could probably save that up for something more valuable. Now, technically I would actually save the Starfire Scarab, but just for the sake of showing you how this card would work, in this case if I don't want to have a Starfire Scarab, I can move them over to the discard pile and allow myself to draw 3 cards on the next turn. So now I've switched over to the next side, and I'm going to go play a Shadow Watcher because my strategy now is to get this out into play as early as possible. And you'll notice that I summoned the Shadow Watcher first before I moved over to kill the Komodo Charger, so that once I do kill the Komodo Charger, you'll notice that my Shadow Watcher is now a 2/2 unit because of the Death Watch. Besides that, I don't have anything else to do, so I'm going to end my turn. I'm going to move up my general, and one of the cool things about the Vitruvian is the fact that they do have obelisks. One of the disadvantages of the obelisk is the fact that they can never move or attack, but the nice thing is that at the start of your turn, it will summon a 2/2 dervish with rush. I'm going to go place my obelisk right here, but you'll also notice that my ranged unit, my Veil Hunter, still hasn't done an action yet. So let's say I move him up, and now I want to take out the Shadow Watcher, because the Shadow Watcher is just going to get stronger the more units die, so I might as well remove this unit as early as I can. Okay, so now it's the Abyssian General's turn. She has the Abyssal Juggernaut, Wraithling Swarm, the Putrid Dreadflayer, and we still have the Demonic Lure. Now what I'm gonna do is discard the Abyssal Juggernaut, see if I can cast the Wraithling Swarm. What you can see here is that I can actually choose where I'm gonna place my Wraithlings. What I want to do is to try to surround the Vitruvian General, while at the same time, this is a bit of an advanced technique, I'm gonna actually lure the immovable obelisk over onto the left side while I close in on the General. Now I'm gonna end my turn. So the dervish is still here, and what I'm going to try to do is move my dervish over to at least attack the Abyssian General. I want to take out one of those little Wraithlings, probably move my range unit away while I do attack the Wraithling. Now, what I can now do is actually put in my Primus Shieldmaster at this spot. What it does is it has Provoke, and what it will do is it will root nearby enemies and force them to attack the Primus Shieldmaster first. And what I can actually even do is put in the Cosmic Flesh now onto my Primus Shieldmaster so it can't even get damaged. Now what should I do? What to do? Well, so this is the first introduction of an artifact. So the Soul Grimoire will actually allow me to gain +2 attack for any minion that's destroyed. I'm going to place that and equip it onto my Abyssian General. And I'm going to start to move my units down. There's really nothing I can do right now because of the Shieldmaster, but I could still attack the General. So I'm going to still at least try to do that. But no, see, I cannot, because now I actually made a mistake, and I should have attacked the General up here, but now I'm provoked by the Primus, which I can't remove. So I'm going to have to end my turn. Okay, so now it's the Vitruvian General's turn. I have a Primus Shieldmaster, I have a ranged unit, I have a Windshrike for flying, a Starfire Scarab with Rush and Blast, a Staff of Ykir to give my General +3 attack, and I also have Entropic Decay, which at this time probably isn't very useful because I don't have anything near my General that's worth killing besides the 1/1 Wraithling. But the Staff of Ykir is very nice to equip right now, so what I'm going to do is put that on. Now that we have the Staff of Ykir, the big question is, what am I going to do next? So I'm going to go take out the Wraithlings first. And since the Primus Shieldmaster can do 1 damage, I'm going to go attack here. I'm going to go save up my Entropic Decay, and finish the turn. Now there's a lot of options for the Abyssian to do some damage right now. The Abyssian general right now is already doing 6 damage. So what I'm going to do is going to take out my Night Sorrel Assassin, place it here. But since the Night Sorrel Assassin has Rush, I'm going to go into the Shield Primus. And take out the Primus Shield Master right away and fill out the spot with a Blood Shard Golem. Now I'm going to end my turn, and lastly I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch this, and this is just the part 1, and we will continue with part 2 to see who finishes and who wins, and to showcase a lot more other new units. Thank you again.